Welcome, everybody, to Chapter 58 of LegionsCast. Hi, guys.
Hi. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, too. I am Lord Stephen Bisciotti, and, back with my pals here, Emil and Len. Emil says that we should tell each other about it. We should tell the audience about ourselves because we can't just assume that anybody knows who we are.
Exactly.
I'm a lord. I go around the world assuming everybody knows who I am, but if you don't, I'm Lord Stephen Bisciotti. I call myself Lord because my wife bought me a certificate that says I am one, and it's funny. I love Mythic Legions. I started with Mythic Legions from the beginning, came over from loving Four Horsemen from working on the Masters of the Universe line. I like to paint things. I like to customize things. I like working with Wolf King Customs, which is Len. Len is the Wolf King, and I do a bit of 3D sculpting, and I also do a lot of podcasting. I have 3 podcasts. Podcast of the Universe for Masters of the Universe. My wife is going to kill me for the Deranged, and this one for the Love of Legions. That's me in a nutshell. Emil, your turn.
I'm very happy with that introduction. That was beautiful. I'm not even going to try to match that. I'm Emil Wickman from Sweden and from the Mythic Legions cabal. I love the Legions lines, and I love doing customs. So I guess customizing is what I love doing the most. Then
I'm floored by Steven's unrehearsed, amazing introduction.
Me too. I got a gap.
I think he pulled the wool over our eyes because I didn't rehearse or plan anything.
I didn't rehearse that. I don't know. Maybe my brain's firing on all cylinders because I
they say high stress. Stress gets you going, man. It gets you on top of your game.
And it's been a stressful week for my work, so I was telling these guys that earlier. So I was telling everybody I was going to be kind of mellow today, and I think the opposite seems to be occurring. But we'll see how long this lasts.
So this last host of us is Len. Before you introduce yourself, you are the one who united me and Stephen.
I did?
You did?
Really?
Yeah. Well, that's a story for some else. But Stephen was thinking about doing some sculpted heads, and I reached out to you, and you're like, talk to Emil, and he talked to me, and I was like, oh, it's this podcaster from the US. He's reaching out, and I'm like, oh. And then we became friends.
Yeah, that's right.
Who are you then?
And we're still waiting on that Friar sculpt, right, Steve?
Yeah, I'm probably going to have to roll up my sleeves and do that one myself.
I think you might have to. That's what started it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Len, who are you?
I'm Len. I am... I have a little business in the community called Wolf King Customs, and we make 3D printed parts and stuff with my friends. And, I'm around. I've been around.
And you're a large fan of the Horsemen?
Oh, yeah, I'm a large fan of the Horsemen. I love all those guys. They're all great. Especially Jim. He's the best.
Jim's the best.
Oh, Jim's great. Jim's awesome.
What a horrible thing to do a ranking of the Four Horsemen. Your ranking.
Jim's S
tier. Jim's number 1. Who's number 2?
Oh, don't go there.
Jim's S tier.
No.
They're all S tier. All right, so that's us in a nutshell. I think we've got some guests, and we'd rather talk about them. So we're going to be bringing on John Caulfield. Welcome, John. Oh,
thanks, Steve. Thank you.
There you are.
Thank you. Sorry.
There you are. And along with John, we got Joe Suitor.
Hey,
hello, Joe.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on, both of you. We're going to have a fun show today. We're going to talk about the best or some of our favorite Mythic Legions accessories, and we're going to get to that shortly. But before that, we're going to start with John. We want to talk a little bit about John. John, you're from a little podcast we like to call Euro Legions, correct?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's me. I am the Lord Stephen of Euro Legions.
You're the Lord Stephen of their Legion. Okay. So, how many episodes do you put out per hour?
Per hour? I don't know. Probably one per week, Steve. One per week.
I swear, every time I scroll, you've got a new episode.
Really? Yeah, but that's one per week. You must scroll once per week then.
You guys are weekly.
We're weekly, yeah. Although Mal is obviously visiting you guys this weekend, so he didn't make this week's episode. And Rich is sick, so I had to. And we had our friend Guion from another Welshman who lined up to take over Mal's seat this week, and he actually ended up doing the podcast alone with me because Rich was sick. So it's going to be a 2-man show this week.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah,
better than talking to myself, you know.
Sometimes a 2-man show can be fun.
Yeah. I mean, I had a plan of stuff to talk about. You know, we were going to do some certain topics, and when Rich wasn't able to make it, it was very last minute. He was hoping he'd get better, but he didn't. And I just ripped up the script and said, "Let's just talk." That's what we did.
I find that I have really good 2-man shows as long as the other guy is not Pete McCarthy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and obviously maybe in person it can be a bit easier, but you have podcasters with Jeremy every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And that's a 2-man show, you know. Yeah.
I love those. I love spending time with
J-Bone. It's kind of intimate, you know.
It is. That's why we're so fond of each other.
That's why those rumors are going around, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So what brought you to Legions, John?
So I was collecting Motu classics. So I think this is a traditional enough route. And I did see the first Kickstarter, but I was like, trying to catch up with Motu classics. So, that was my focus. But by the time the second Kickstarter came around, so Advent of Decay, I decided, okay, I'm going to see what this is going on about. And I backed one figure, which was Balaam. And then you start to follow a Kickstarter, and then you get really up in the hype of it. And that is the thing about Kickstarter that is good for the company. Now, I know Kickstarter can, take a lot of fees and stuff like that, but it does build the hype when it gets going. So from one figure, I think I spent $700 at the end of that Kickstarter. And then I was like, okay, I'm in on this now. And then I don't think the Cabal was even around then, so there was message boards. And then got to know people, and I was still chatting in the Motu groups, and there was people talking about Legions there. And eventually just went from there. And eventually the figures arrived. Some figures arrived. There was in-stock sales in between those figures arriving even. And here we are. Ended up listening to you guys, obviously. And that was a kind of a door opener for the community as well. You just get to know the people, and obviously you interview people. And then people like Jeremy Gerard start to crop up with shows and stuff. So, yeah, I think. And now we have like a show every night of the week, I think, for Legions, don't we?
It's almost like CNN. It's like all Legions all the time.
Yeah, you could just cut the cord, if you don't want to watch TV, I don't want to pay for TV anymore. Just get YouTube and podcast app or whatever, and there you go.
Yeah,
there's your entertainment.
Sure. For sure. And then one last question, I guess. What made you decide to start a podcast?
I suppose listening to so many good podcasts and enjoying them, and was always interested in that kind of stuff. And yeah, kind of just had to find the right time and kind of people, and just decided to try. And I always wanted to do podcasts rather than YouTube, because that's what I listened to myself. It was nothing against the YouTube shows. I still watch the YouTube shows, but I just always found with podcasts you could be kind of doing a lot of other stuff that you need to get done, and you're listening to podcasts. So that's how and not just on toy collecting topics, any topics, it can be sports or news, whatever,
Sure.
And then you go down the rabbit hole of that, and then you're 50 odd episodes into a podcast a year and a bit later. It's not even a year later, actually.
Did you know your co-host well before you started the podcast?
I met them at LegionsCon. So we started in March, and I met the guys in person the previous November. And I knew Richard a bit before that. through the groups. Just I'd never met Mal, and he was actually the first person I met at LegionsCon, so that was funny.
And I promise this is the last question, but I want to make it awkward. When starting a Euro Legion show, why did you intentionally leave out Emil Wickman?
Because he needed to come and rescue you guys. You know, he had greater things.
It was fate, huh?
You saved me for like. Okay, we don't want him in the Euro Legions podcast, but we can say that you guys
can blame. You can blame
team.
Trevor.
We picked Mal, we picked Len, and it's like, well, you can have the rest, and I'm the rest.
Yeah.
Like, thanks.
You can kind of blame Trevor Williams because he invited the three of us onto his show, so the Legions Lounge. He wanted the three kind of British guys, you know, on for an episode, and it was kind of after that we got chatting, the three of us, and said, "Oh, that was fun," you know, and we kind of had a. And I'd been kind of angling, and I just dropped in, why don't we start a podcast, kind of expecting nothing to happen, and they were all like, yeah, let's do it. So that's all you need then. You just need somebody else to say yeah. I think that's kind of how it went with you guys as well, isn't it? One of you I think it was you just said, let's start a podcast, and you probably weren't expecting everybody to say yes.
It was, well, short story, I asked Travis first. He said, that's dumb, but if you do it, I'll be there. And then I asked Pete, and he said, I'll do anything to hear myself talk, so let's go. So,
and that's how it's
pretty today. It's not exactly word for word how it went, but pretty damn close, to be honest. Yeah, so awesome. I love your show. When I get the chance to listen, I love how chill you guys are. It has a very chill tone to it. I don't know if that's the accents or if it's just your guys' personalities.
It's a bit of both, I think. Yeah. But I've often been called relaxed. I used to have quite a high stress job, and people were like, "How are you always so relaxed?" And like, maybe I'm not that relaxed on the inside, but that's how it comes across. You know?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I'll probably just drop dead of a heart attack one day, and people are like, "But he was so chilled," you know.
Well, we hope not.
No.
We hope not. And if you do, don't do it at LegionsCast because it's going to ruin it. It's going to ruin the weekend for everybody. So just think of everybody else, all right?
True. And I don't want those high healthcare bills either, do I? Over there.
You don't want that. You don't want that.
Yeah.
So, Joe, this is first time on LegionsCast. First time I've ever talked to you. So, what's your story? How did you fall into the Mythic Legions rabbit hole?
I think it was retail therapy for depression, maybe. A little bit of that, but I think The Amazing's review of Thistlethorn sent me down a rabbit hole of watching all his reviews. And I think when I was a kid, I had some of those Dungeons and Dragons. I think they were LJN. But my mom was really religious, and I felt guilty, so I just sold them at a garage sale so she wouldn't be like worried about what was going on in my room.
Oh yeah, I remember the religious guilt. It was awesome.
Yeah, and then I think I was always kind of looking at Calico Critters when I was little, or Sylvanian Families for you, John, and thinking like I think I could put a pretty good house together with those, but some kind of gender role kept me from buying them. But then Thistlethorn is kind of putting those two things together, and I was like, there we go. And then within, I think, 2 weeks, I looked at my eBay purchase history, and I was like, how did I do this without counting up what I was spending, you know? It was just packages coming every day. It was ridiculous.
That's awesome. I know how you feel. That was I couldn't do that with Legions because I started with the Kickstarters and everything, so it seemed like it was like get a load of Legions and then wait forever. But I remember my Masters of the Universe Classics, finding that line, and I just went bananas on catch up, and I was just like, how did I spend this much money in such a short time just getting figures? Just seemed like every day I was getting something at the door. I'd come home and I'd run in, and it was So I've had that experience. It is awful fun, but it's also kind of alarming. Mostly to my wife, but So you have become quite recognized for your pop and swaps, Joe. There we go, pop and swap king. See, so that's sweet, and you do a great job. And Emil, I think, has some pictures of those. You want to
please
put them up, and we can maybe talk about a few of them.
I did like a reverse super chat to Brian to post that comment. That was about I mean, don't you feel like, I feel like with all the things you guys do, like all the creativity and sculpting and painting and actually creating new stuff, that Pop and Swaps is like going up to someone at a buffet and congratulating them on a nice plate they put together. It's just like the stuff is already there. Like,
no, I think there's a different, and you guys can, I'll let somebody else talk because I feel like I've been talking a whole lot.
Yeah, I have a point on this, and that's the thing. Yeah, you can say that, okay, he or she is making a custom, painting it, and doing stuff with it. The thing with it, like the pop and swaps, when you do a good pop and swap or a great pop and swap, I find that more impressive because everyone has access to these parts. Everyone can sit by their desk and put these together, but not everyone does. And when you do it, you find these amazing characters. So I find this more impressive. And I know that you don't agree with me on this, but I have this opinion. There you go.
Well,
word.
Yeah, I mean, anybody can do pop and swaps, but not everybody has the eye to make them look really, really good.
That's the thing, the design feeling of it. Yes. So that's what. Yeah. Thank you for using better English, Stephen, describing it.
I don't know. I don't think I double said what you said.
Okay, well, I think you said it better anyway, and I like what you said. I just wanted to say that I agree with you.
Isn't part of what the Horsemen do themselves is a bit of pop and swap to make new figures sometimes,
It is, and you got to remember, I mean, there's a difference between, well, if I want to make something and something doesn't fit, it's not the right color, we'll just paint it whatever color we want. And when you're not doing that and you're having to look for the combination that really works, I mean, look at that. That's sweet.
This one is one of my favorites of the ones I've seen you do.
This could just be produced tomorrow and sold, no problem.
Yes, yeah. I need it.
As long as you don't look at the back of her head and see all that missing, But
well, we're not, so that's fine.
We're not. Do you think people post some of their paint jobs and they show you around the back where they've done a bit of a mess?
Where the thumbprints are?
Exactly. Yeah. Or the first photo they took where they realized, oh, I need to do another hour painting on this because it's actually not great. Yeah.
That one's really cool.
I my goodness. Yes.
Isn't this one fun?
Yeah. That's amazing. That's one I haven't seen. Is this a recent one or did I just miss it? Because Facebook is a bit funny sometimes.
Right around when I got Poxus, it was one of the first ones I did.
Okay.
But I think I was posting too many. Like David Williams told me, he's like, you don't need to post them all on the same day. You can slow down and do like maybe 2 a day. Like don't just.
It's difficult though, isn't it? To when you've got a load of cool ones done. Oh wow!
Look at that. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
One of the ones where I didn't hastily Photoshop the stand out. I forgot I posted it with the stand in there.
You got to appreciate the pose in there, Steve, as well, huh?
Yeah, it's all gold.
Yeah.
The orange and the purple, and look at these guys. They look like they are a whole group that belongs together.
You had a name for these. I didn't say what was the name for this group.
I just started calling them Storm Rangers. I'm sure that's been in somewhere along the line, but there's this quick little caption for it.
This is why everyone needs about 10 Dubans in their collection.
Exactly.
I hope they do more stuff in that color if they do more armor parts in that color to keep kind of expanding that little subset would be cool.
Yeah.
Those are the pop and swabs that I brought. But everyone, go into the Cabal and search for Joe's name, and you will find a lot more. That was just, like a taste of it, what you can find.
Absolutely awesome.
So what about the process here, Joe? Do you have a bucket of parts, or do you just play and put things together and then use what you have and keep it relatively all together into figures?
I think it mostly is dictated by color, because if I get a new part, think there's got to be something from the last 9 years that they've used this same color or something that's close. So it's kind of like a little puzzle to see if there's something you can do by putting those together and what else goes with it. So pretty much just looking at the colors, and I've got a bunch that I've just got 2 parts that are waiting for things that haven't been released. They're just sitting there like a hood that's sitting there waiting for something 2 years from now. But
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Can I also say that I mean, you have a creative work as well, so it's creating good art, great art, is part of your profession.
I mean, hopefully. I've tricked clients into thinking so.
Joe, have you ever taken credit for anything?
I took credit for my deflection skills when I was talking to Emil the other day. I think. I'm excellent at that. It's one of the
Well, I think you do a cool job, and I like what you do. So I think it's very creative, and it takes a good eye to do these, to put them together tastefully. I don't do that very well. I don't pop and swap as well as you, because if I just paint stuff because because it's easy. That's the easier way out, to be honest.
It's actually kind of Len's fault, because there was he had a custom contest or something in 2022, and I messaged him and I said, does it count if I just swap stuff around? Does that count as a custom? And he's like, yeah, as long as if you changed anything, it counts. So he set me on the journey there.
Wow. That's awesome.
Thank you, Len.
I remember that now, you contacting me about that. Actually, I don't, oddly, I don't remember the contest, but I remember you contacting me about it.
I think
forget what it was for.
It was Legions Customs 2022 was the hashtag.
Okay.
So
I think Anthony and I did that. Just
it's the end of the year, 2022.
Yeah, we were trying to get a lot of people just to post custom anything they could in the Cabal to make it filled up with customs and things like that.
Well, that's a win for you, Len.
Here we have another famous pop and swapper.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, well, we don't need to say no more, Joe.
Yeah, you get the endorsement from Dorklayer. You're doing something right. In fact,
exactly.
he's a great pop and swapper. You're a great pop and swapper. Is there any way we can get these guys to fight?
He was talking about, Bill was talking about
There's
how...
going to be a thing at Legions Con this year at 3 o'clock behind the Bonefish Grill. People are just going to throw random parts at us, and we just have to put them together and see what we can do.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I'm going to be there.
Bill was saying how part of his videos, actually the longest part is actually doing all the pop and swaps. It takes him longer than some of the video, most of the rest of the video, just putting them together. So, yeah.
So
I feel like he doesn't do enough sometimes. I'm like,
well, there you go.
Come on, you only do 3?
He's inspiring.
He is.
He has really good poses too. That turnaround at the beginning of every video. It's always I'm sure that's selling stuff. People see that, they're like, oh, I've only seen this just standing straight up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's good. Well, cool. That was fun. I'm gonna mention quick before we get into the main topic. Mesquicon is this weekend. If you're not already going, I doubt anything you're gonna hear here is gonna convince you this close to the actual show. But if there was anything I could say, I would just say, please. So I'm looking right into the camera right now. Please, just calm. Muskegon, Michigan, Friday night, mythical meetup something, Midwest. There's all those words that are put together in not that order. But it's there, and it's at the Van Dyke Mortgage Center, and at 7 o'clock, we're going to be having a little party in a little special room with a cash bar and some giveaways from Pete McCarthy, sponsored by Wolf King Customs, Mr. Lenny Boy here, and the little giveaway is a sculpture I made. So it's gonna be fun. First people 50 through the door get that. And yeah, hope for all of those of you that are going, I am super excited to see you. And Curtis is driving here right now. Curtis, if you haven't hit rain yet, you're going to. So, all right.
Yeah, Mal sent me a picture from his trip with Trevor and Nate, and it was really wet on the roads. You could see.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, better than snow. It was snow last year.
yeah,
so.
true. That's true. That's true.
So before we start with the accessories, Len, do you want to do? I mean, we're half an hour into the show. You want to say hey to some people in the chat, or like you
Who?
should do?
Oh, you have
well,
a chat.
Yeah, I mean the chat's. I'm talking to them. I haven't been ignoring them. I'm talking to them directly in the chat, so they know I'm here and I'm listening to them. Do you want to hear? We have Kirby Smith, Kevin Boots, Ken Pool Collects, Just Shelve It, Rick Emmert, I don't know, Hot the Basher, Carver Customs, Eduardo is here, Michael Morales, Van Johnson, Pat Boyle, Thomas Belay. It's Thomas, right? Thomas.
Yeah.
John, right? Yeah. I know you know. I know if I have a question, I ask John. Big Dub is here. G is here. Ish is here. And the list goes on and on. Sig is here. Jeremy Govier. I'm just going back, guys. I'm sorry if I missed anyone. Anthony was here. He is here, but he jumped on quickly to say hello before he had to head off to Carly's High School Musical performance of Mean Girls, which starts at 6:30.
Yeah.
As we know, Dorklair is here.
That's like a text message, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Your wife.
Yeah, I would expect that like from my mom on Facebook, and she posts it on her page instead of a personal message. And I have to say, Mom, you meant to tell me that privately. Let's see. Tanya McCoy is here.
Curtis
What's
is
that?
watching us in the car. I see.
Yeah, he's
of
saying he
course.
can't type, but he typed.
But he
what
did.
He can't type. So
He's
You're gonna
doing.
hit rain, Curtis. Be careful, buddy.
Yeah.
Tanya is here, and let's just say that Legions Ladies is on after us on their YouTube channel, so go check that out. John, do you know who they have on tonight?
Joe Vassapolo.
Well, there
Joe
you go.
Vassapolo. There you go.
And that is 7:30.
One of the best.
yeah.
So if you want to hear a little insight about Joe, what's fun about Legions Ladies is that they ask some questions that you just don't normally hear.
Yeah, that's
that
cool.
aren't so
isn't it?
much Legions related. So if you want to know like about Joe, maybe about his pets or things like that, tune into them because they give you a little fun insight to their guests that normal like the other shows don't really do. Fight Club, and Anthony is rounding it out with, wait, this isn't Messenger? Oh, and
It's funny.
Tony's saying Joe at 7:30.
It seems everybody has a kids play today. Curtis was at one. I'm heading to one. I have a hard stop time today because my daughter's in a play tonight. And
What play is it, Steve? And what time?
well, it's at 7 o'clock, and it is Freaky Friday.
There you go. Yes, it is. It is play season. This is the time of year they all do with them. Musicals.
Yeah. So. All right.
Here we go.
Yeah, let's hit it. Let's
All
hit
right.
the accessories.
So
I
this is not.
think
Yeah.
I don't think accessories really get a lot of attention. So this is LegionsCast giving accessories a lot of attention. No, Emil, take it away, and I won't interrupt you.
You are most welcome to interrupt. So we're going to talk about accessories today. This is not a tier. We're not going to rank all the items in the whole line, but we're going to give some some of our favorites. I'm not even sure this will be our absolute favorites because that's a hard thing to do, but it's definitely some of our favorites, as well as people who have answered to the post on Facebook. They have sent in their list, so we're gonna show some of their top accessories lists. The idea was that we're gonna talk Mythic Legions. Do you say accessories?
Accessories, yeah.
Accessories. You know,
Accessories.
this is the first time I've ever pronounced that right. Accessories.
Well,
okay.
I hear other people. I believe Pete McCarthy's one that says accessories. I don't know. I say accessories, so I don't know if what's correct.
If you're accessory, aren't you like a accessory to murder or something like this?
Okay, let's move on. So, the idea was that we're going to talk about Mythic Legions, but some of our friends, some of our hosts have sneaked in some other parts except for Mythic Legions, and we're going to allow that. But I just want to say, so, first off, we're going to do Lens 10 accessories.
Right. And these accessories are not in particular order for me. I think some people did theirs in order, but I will say that mine are not.
Yeah. So that you'll say something about why we have picked them. You know, we have a reason for why we have picked it. Or first, then, any red belt here.
I always enjoyed the red belt. Why? Because it was the first time that I felt it was any different belt from the old belts. So it's kind of like every belt was brown, and it was just cool when we first, like when Black Knight, you know, like
that was the
I always
one,
thought
yeah.
the red belt was cool. It was just, it stands out amongst the sea of brown belts, and I really like red as an accessory color for any figure. So I just thought it was really a cool choice because it's just a little different. Now we have all kinds of different belts, but like I'm doing this on a little bit of like my reminiscing about the first time like seeing something like that.
So it's a nostalgia
Yes,
choice here.
exactly.
Ready for the next?
Sure. I love those deer antler helmet accessories. I always enjoyed them. I think they're fun just to put on different things. You could just make like a forest creature out of anything that wears a helmet and say it's in the flock. I like them. I like the gold ones because I have tons of them. It's a fun accessory.
Awesome. You need to put up a photo with a group of, antler characters.
You just have to space them all far apart.
Okay.
Turtle shell shield. It's fun. It's just different. It's just not your standard shield. It's a great sculpt. I just love that Eric like threw that in there, and I see a lot of people do really creative things with them, and it's just always been one of my favorites.
Super cool. I didn't think of that one. I like it.
Yeah, I like that one too.
The Buster Sword. I always thought this was a cool sword. It was the first like part I ever picked up and did anything custom with and shared it. Like there was like a technique from a different hobby where you would use a crayon, like a kid's crayon, wax crayon, to fill in all the runes and glyphs that are on the blade that I did. Because I was like, oh, this would be neat if I used a red crayon and like filled it in. And I did it, and I shared it in the Cabal, and everyone was like, oh, that was cool. This is a long time ago. But it was like, it was fun. And it just makes me think about that in those early days. You don't have to sit and like fill in everyone with a fine brush. You just kind of scribble on it and then wipe it away. And it has a neat effect. And it's a cool sword. Who doesn't like a Buster Sword?
Well, so can I say something that I think about this? And it's like, I love the blade. I love the handle. But all the spikes there, I never have, when I try to fit this on a figure, I don't see the aesthetic with all the spikes there. So I'm just saying something. Maybe I'm not fully satisfied with the spikes. This is your list. I'm just thinking out loud. I want to hear. No, everyone's just happy with the spikes.
Yeah,
okay, Joe
I mean,
loves the spikes as welt. Yeah.
I just find this sword was maybe used too many times now. It was kind of special when it was with a couple of kind of heavy tier characters, but now it's kind of. I think it came with the Fury Orc, for example.
Mm-hmm. Came with the Fury Orc, which I think it
Yeah.
fit the Fury Orc
Maybe
pretty well.
But it's with
because-
Morgulith as well. Then how does that kind of make sense?
What are you saying,
Yeah.
John?
It's a cool sword,
All right.
but
Are you saying that Morgulith shouldn't have that sword?
no, of course she can have the sword, but it just doesn't make sense that she has it and the Fury Orc has it.
Morgulith went up to a Fury Orc and said, "Where'd you get that?" And she's like, "The sword." Why? He's like, "No reason."
So I've just come to accept that some weapons in Mythos are mass produced.
But this looks too special to be mass produced, no?
Yeah, I think of it as there's only one of them, so I had to just pick someone that gets to have it, and everyone else gets sold on eBay.
It's someone is making Buster Sword bootlegs in Mythos. It's just like, everyone's get a sword.
Ooh.
Another sword.
Yeah, I just had to go for one of the big ones. I almost did both the big ones, but I picked my more favorite of the two because we were doing a limited list, and it's fun. It's a great sword. It's got paint apps. What more can you say?
It's a cool sword, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You want to say something, Steve?
no, just agree that it's cool.
I think there should be a special category for accessories that you think you could actually do physical damage with. I was looking at a Rakagor sword and thinking, like, if someone broke in, like, could I do something with this? Like, seems like maybe.
Yeah. I keep an ice troll sword under my bed in case there's nighttime break-ins for that reason exactly. Valak's belt was my next pick, and this could be anyone that wears this, that has this belt, because we've seen it on other characters, and I think it's the same reason I like the red belt, because it was like one of the first times we got like a different belt, and you could really outfit him more effectively because of it. Like you had somewhere to put a quiver, you had somewhere to put different things because of that drop down, and it also was like one of the first belts that had like paint app and pouches. And I really love that belt. I think it's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, love this one. Yeah.
I love that belt too.
Absolutely. More belts to the people.
Belt back.
Yeah, I mean,
belt back.
all the belts and straps and everything, and that's like, yeah, you can just attach as much as you want.
Hardrick's Pauldrons. I remember the first time I saw them when I opened the figure, and I thought that they were fun. Just because we finally got like a different pauldron, and they're just neat. I like them. I like the finish on them, like the color. They almost had like a wash on them. I remember trying to mimic them, like to copy the paint on them, and I had a heck of a time to do it. Just fun, different.
I love the pauldrons as well. I think they're very cool. I'm very happy that we got them with Duban as well, so we had some more.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you laughing at?
Nothing. It's your list. It's your life.
We're looking
I
at
love this part. I like the neck piece that comes with the cats, or with the what's his name, Torian. I just think it's fun. I think it's a neat accessory that they were able to make that can transform like a certain torso, and it adds more versatility to that like torso to make them a bigger, bulkier form. Like it gives the illusion of being like a larger figure through the simple slip on of a neck piece. And I always thought it was just really clever of the way they did it. And I hope they make a brute scale one, because I think that would be awesome. And it's just a fun part.
I would assume that you display your purpler with this piece then?
Yeah, no, not purpler. The orc. If I have them in orc form, then I use that. No, yeah, you're right. I use them purpler too.
You use this piece when you do orc form?
No, with Purplure. I'm sorry.
Okay. I was going to say. I
All
mean,
the
you can
cats
do
I
whatever
use
you
it on.
want, but there is a right way.
That's kind of you. So we haven't seen a pop and swap with this one yet, Joe, have we?
Not with that particular one.
Oh.
No, I think I did something with Kauros recently. I did like one on, one off, just to see what it looked like.
Well, Len needs to see it.
Yeah, Joe Gonzalez likes my choice, Steven.
Okay.
I can't believe you laughed at it.
Steven laughed out loud right away, though,
I love that the heads pack came with one in black. It's great.
Yeah,
I had
do
painted
that.
mine that I had a few of mine black, and then to get it in the heads pack so you didn't have to paint them even.
I remember getting that in the heads pack. I threw it right in my fodder box. No, it's a good choice. I'm just trying to be. It's a good choice.
kind.
It transforms a figure, and he's right. It's great. I think I support you.
Oh, yeah.
It only goes over the bear torso, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can kind of fudge it with the other ones, but I think it's really fitting on the bear torso.
I used this piece when I did Magneto. I cut off all this purple parts, and you just kept the strap, and then with the pauldrons on, he looked so bulky, super bulky, and it's like, yeah.
How long did it take you to cut that away? Was it a messy job?
It took some time. It did take some time. That was not just let's pop this off.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I like Thalen Frostbow's fur cape. I think it fits perfect. It has the perfect nape to it, so it has a very natural fur look for the scale. I think it's just a fun little add-on that came with her, and I think with any barbarian type figure, it's obviously very useful. It's done well. I really like it, and you can lay it in front of the fire too if you want. If you do dios. Side story, and this isn't I'm not going down a Steven tangent here, but I remember talking to, I think it was Eric about this a long time ago at a show, and he had said that it took a lot to source that fur to find the right exact fur for the scale. They went through a lot of choices before they actually nailed it with that look. So it wasn't because when I mean scale, it could be ridiculous. It could be really a long fur and just not look realistic to that size. So I always thought that was a really neat piece.
I've used it for customs quite a bit.
I've seen a lot of people talk about the new skeleton in the retailer wave, that they're excited about getting this type of fur thing again with that one.
Isn't it the same one that comes with Waltor? The one with that skeleton from Retailer 2?
Yeah, I think the Waltor one, isn't it? It's shaped. It's just a different cut pattern, right? I think.
Okay.
I think the Waltor one's actually better because it. I can't remember what it is. There's something about it.
It's got a wash at the bottom, it's kind of darker at the edges.
Yeah, but the cut pattern of it actually makes a lot more sense because they pre-cut holes, I think, for the pauldrons, if I remember correctly. I haven't, and it was just
it's got an arm sleeve.
Yes, that's it, Joe. It has an arm sleeve, and that made a world of difference. It was really cool. I should have picked that one instead of this one, but I always go with nostalgia. Next thing, Emil, you there?
Yep.
Move us. Oh.
He's got you.
Dubon's cape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Top tier choice.
That was almost on my list.
That's a fantastic piece of soft goods.
It's amazing, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and worth the price of the figure alone, almost, I would say.
I agree.
Yeah.
It was one of the first ones that actually was sewn together in the front, and actually you didn't have to do a different button or tab or Velcro to close it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
that was
right,
a big deal.
Yeah. That's cool. Yep.
Perfect.
and scapular shield specific
Ooh.
because I just love that shield. I think it's iconic. To the line, to me, it just means everything. It's one of my favorite figures in the line, and I like the paint apps. I like the way it has that little bit of like dirty finish to it. You know, again, nostalgia, but that's me. I love this shield.
So I don't have this figure, but is it really? It feels like dirty in the edges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Nice, nice.
Does the
Yeah, this
Fortunately, I
does
broke
the
mine.
new scapular come with?
It has a
a
round buckler, I believe, shield. It's not the
That's
same
right.
type.
It is. Yeah.
Oh, it's a round, very detailed, beautiful shield.
Yeah. It's kind of like a dish shape, you know, it's kind of curved in.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the piece of scapular that you just was really difficult if you were going to make your own scapular to recreate. Once we got that head with Sir Gerard, the extra head,
Mm-hmm.
you're still struggling with this shield because even no matter how good you are painting, you kind of you'd almost need a template thing to do this or something, or you know,
Yeah.
really
You get
that
some
would
of
be
those,
hard.
Yep.
the stickers that teachers hand out, little stars.
Yeah.
Use some of those.
Gold star, yeah. Can I borrow 4 of your gold stars, please? Or well, steel. I need to repaint them red.
That would be fun to make a scapular bootleg that really has like, yeah, this is me. I'm scapular. I have stars. Okay, Len. So this is your 10.
That's my 10.
That's
That's
Len's 10.
Len's 10. And did you wanna? Do you wanna take some of the?
Sure.
Well,
So we asked around the community for different people to give us their list, so it really just wasn't all us. And I compiled them in our in the Cabal. When Emil made the post for the show, we asked people to leave their comments of their top 5. So we limited it to 5, and I just we'll share those throughout this journey tonight. You ready? Let's see.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right. First person
ooh,
is Blake Woolner, and his 5 in no particular order are Orc Sword, the Knight Axe, the Bearded Axe, the Long Sword, and the Large Elven Sword. So those are all good shares. Thank you, Blake,
Yeah.
for sharing
All
those.
weapons. Interesting.
Yeah. What is my mind's slipping on the Knight Axe. What is he referring to with the Knight Axe? Give me a figure that comes with. I'm not.
The Knight
Is it
Axe.
the one with the 2
The big
different blades
axe.
that you
It's
can
gotta be.
add to it?
It's got to be
Like
the big
one the
Malleus one, is
crossbow
it?
comes with?
Yeah, single bladed or double bladed, the big long one, I'm assuming.
Oh, okay. I think the one where it comes apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original one that like it comes with Atlas. Is one of the figures it comes with.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So thank you, Blake. Appreciate that.
Oh no, the Knight Axe is this one.
School us, John. See, that's
yeah,
what
that's
I
what I
said.
was thinking exactly.
That's
I just
I
looked.
said.
I just looked up
John.
on the website. I had no clue.
Right.
I wouldn't have had a clue of that. Don't worry.
That's Thalin's axe.
That's the
That's
one.
what I
Yeah.
just
Alan.
said.
Magnus.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Len.
Yeah, that's why I have John here, because he can get us
Just
the
to back
truth.
you up, just to show that you were right in the first place.
See, I would think that other 2-sided one. I would think that I would call that like the barbarian axe or like a dwarven axe, because it's just where I go with that. But that's okay.
That's actually
What do we
called the
got next?
battle axe. The big
called
one
the
that
battle
Malleus
axe.
has.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's a good name for it.
Got it.
Right.
Oh, shall we continue with ours?
Yes.
Yeah, then we have John.
Ooh.
Are you ready, John?
Yeah, if I can remember it. No, I remember. Don't worry. There we go. I have 2 crossovers with Len, and this is the first one. Duban's Cape. Yeah, absolutely. Can't really say much more about it.
Okay, you can. I'm not
Yeah,
going to
I
be
think we've
so
talked
quick
about
to
it.
change before you said.
Yeah, the Arthur flame effect. I really like this. I love the potential that you can get from the flame effects for taking some pictures. Often it's other people taking the cool pictures, but I really like them, and it just looks cool on the horse. And if you have kids and you have these kind of things on the figures, these are the things they gravitate towards. The flame effects. Now we got the spell effects in Poxus, that kind of stuff. You know, I had all the Poxus figures kind of open, and they just went for the accessory pack with the effects. You know, so yeah, these are cool. I love it. More of these would be awesome. And this, I believe, is on Irakagor as well. This not in flame, but in different colored,
purple,
translucent. Yeah.
Is it even the same one, just bigger? Is it?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think it's the same sculpt.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it.
I think.
Yeah,
well, I'm sure
it's fun. It's like the first time they dove into it, right?
Yeah,
and really appropriate then for Arathir as well. You know, really does work for him.
I like that it fits on so many other swords. You can kind of put it on anything.
Yeah, that was good design for sure.
Super cool.
Yep.
You know what? I don't think I even tried it on another sword. That sounds silly, right?
That's cool.
Just popped it on the shelf 3 years ago, and it's still there.
You haven't
only
been
have
paying as
one.
much attention to my swaps as you said you were. I mean, I do that all the time on all kinds of swords.
So, okay, shall we move on? Okay, sorry, Joe. Oh,
And this is the other crossover with Len, so the
Wow.
Valak belt. Yeah, I think we've said what we said about this, but yeah, this is just awesome. Really changes up the figures, you know, more that you can do. And when you compare this to the belts we got originally, which of course were, you know, part of the line and kind of part of the time, you know, they were obviously concentrating on other parts of the figures back then. But now that they can do this kind of stuff, or, you know, add in parts like these, it's a really nice design, really cool.
Yeah.
Hagnon ball and chain, I really like this. Probably the best part of Hagnon, to be honest, because at least it's painted. Yeah, I really like that we get the kind of real metal chains with these figures, and I love this ball. It's really gnarly, and yeah, you can do a lot with it.
what do you do with it?
You can just have characters that are prisoners or whatever, you know. You got a troll and he's taken a character prisoner, and you can just put this around the character's leg or neck or whatever, and you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool.
Still
It's cool
ball and
piece.
I
chain.
love that they integrate real metal into the
Yeah,
parts. And
it's
things.
really
I-
it really makes a difference.
I heard on strict word that actually is an homage to my wife.
That's another show, Steve. You do that on Sundays.
No.
No.
So you're having her chained?
She's the old, she's the old ball and chain. Come on, you don't say that in Sweden. You don't refer to your wife as the old ball and chain.
Never ever heard it.
You don't, because you know how your wife holds you back in life, right?
I'm trying to look at the other host here
What's
to
John's
see their
next one?
faces when they're like spoiling.
But this is an expression for sure. Yeah, I don't know if it's I don't even know these days if it's allowed to be used.
You
So.
use the phrase "ball and chain" for your wife?
Yeah.
Like she's the
I
one-
gotta ask the old ball and chain if I can go out bowling with the boys tonight. You know, that sort of thing.
I thought ball and chain was something cool. I mean, I'm not saying that my wife is not. Oh,
Never has a podcast host been so sure that his wife doesn't pay attention to his shows or what he does.
Oh, she's watching.
Not this show.
Not this one.
I'm gonna have to Google ball and chain more so I can understand this completely. It's a very hard language, English. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, Tharnog staff. This is new. Maybe the new figure bounce, but it is also awesome. Just the detail. I mean, it's amazing. I think you could use it for a lot of other figures as well. Just as it is, you know, just pop
it's
and swap
super
it to. Yeah, you can give it to skeletons. You could give it to even, I don't know, the demons, but you know, and lots of other characters. Yeah, this is just an awesome piece, really ornate, but not fragile. I don't find it super fragile, so that's nice. Yeah. Don't know what you guys
That
think.
is awesome. I kind of wish
Yeah.
I kind of wish I had that one on my list.
Mm.
But I got some good ones, so I'm okay.
Yeah.
I actually, just before the show, I happened to watch Toy Bro's review of this and his love for the staff, and I was like, I should probably add that to my list. And it's like, no, I can't. No, not now. But it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I probably would have. I haven't opened mine yet. I just got my brutes, and I opened Calazar, and I've been playing with Calazar, and I just haven't had the time to bust this one open. Maybe if I'd played with it, it would have been on my list.
Oh yeah. This time, Steve, you know?
There's time.
I agree that the top end is beautiful, but I do have to say that I think the staff itself could be a little thicker in diameter.
Okay, maybe possibly after the hands,
I know why they did it, because it was already done for the 1.0 or for smaller scale, but I think in terms of looking at it, I think it could have been a little thicker, but that's just me.
Like, it feels a little bit top heavy, the staff, that it would break if it was real, you know, or...
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. I'll take that. I'll take that back to...
It's beautiful.
Yeah. I'll take that back to the Horsemen, let them know.
Okay. Don't tell them that Steven said it.
Oh. You want to say something? Should we move on from here?
If you're noticing a trend here, it's I kind of constrained myself a little bit. I picked one per faction, mythics.
No.
So I
a
thought
cool
that
idea.
was an interesting way just to kind of get variety, because you could have just gone, all the cool skeleton parts, or I just decided that was an interesting way to pick. Yeah. So nothing more from these factions.
Joe, I just want to check. Were you going to say something?
Oh, I gave it to Queen Urxa. She's turning into my like kind of weird,
That's
like witch doctor of the orcs with this stuff.
That's cool. She has the helmet for a witch doctor. I mean, or not a helmet, but that hairpiece. Or that
the hairpiece, yeah.
That
skull
would
or
make
whatever.
perfect sense.
Do you think we're going to get a second version of her, possibly, given how she's so important to the story?
I kind of think it would be cool.
Yeah.
If we did. I've always liked that figure quite a bit. Even though she's not, she's pretty simple. I've always just thought it was cool.
Absolutely.
All right, what's next?
So the Lion Shield from Attila version 2. So I had to get one of these in somewhere because I love these shields. The few that we've had, we have Arathir as well. I think we have the Flock, and this one as well, and they're all awesome. So this was my kind of representation of those type of shields. I know not everybody likes them. Maybe they find them a bit too much, but I like them. I really like them.
Him riding the horse, I have him with the shield attached to the horse at the front.
That's a cool idea.
The overall look feels so much more powerful.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
But then don't you feel like you need one on each side for the symmetry of the horse?
No, because I've got my particular horse is turned, so you can't see the other side anyway.
Do you have two shields, Joe?
I tried to keep 3, and then someone talked me into selling one the other day. So I figured like 2 guards with those is enough, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess they're beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that
him. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go Joe. Go Joe.
It's your list.
Yeah, it's okay.
I bought a bunch of him to have extra swords and pauldrons and capes, and then sold all the rest of them. I think I still got a bunch of Atlas 2 feet or Attila 2 feet that sitting in a box somewhere.
There you go. If you need Attila 2 feet, you can hit Joe up.
All right.
I love that you can take the piece out as well and maybe use it as a diorama piece of the shield. You could do that as well if you really wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Emil, Heaven's Brand sword. Yeah, this is a cool sword as well. I knew somebody might pick this one as well, and I could have also gone for the Aether Blade as a cool kind of sword, but yeah, I really like this one, and I don't have it. So, but we're getting it with the new Gideon Earthling.
Yes, and I think it's upgraded a little.
Yeah. So, and did this one only come in the weapons pack?
Yes.
Originally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it came with the bird, yes, Etherion too, as well.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. But that was and that was even before. Was that before Kickstarter one? No, that was in between, wasn't it? Yeah. So this is a really tough sword to get. Obviously, there isn't that many people probably with it.
You can put Arethy's Flame on that one too.
You could, yeah, definitely.
Now I have to. No, I only have one play. But this is a bad sword.
This is, yeah, it's really cool. Genie Lamp from Calazir, yeah. I really like this. I had kind of, when I opened him, I had forgotten that I knew he was a djinn and whatever, but I had forgotten that this accessory came with him, and I got a real kick out of it. I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. It really works, and you got the little smoke effect that you can kind of use. I don't know how you would use it coming out of the lamp, but I think you could use it definitely to represent that. So yeah, I love this, and it's really nicely painted, as you can see there. Really, really nicely painted.
Yeah.
All I kept saying as soon as I pulled that out, I just kept saying, the lamp, give me the lamp. Just, I had...
Yeah, definitely, yeah. You like Aladdin, don't you, Steve?
Oh, I love all that old Disney stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff's the best.
Exactly, yeah. So this is in your wheelhouse. For sure.
Yeah. Great pick. Batwing.
The Batwings, yeah, on the helmet, yeah.
Nice.
They're cool, yeah. I just think that they give a lot of options as well for customs, if you were to do with that helmet, you could even do a Batman custom. I suppose people have done it. But yeah, I really like them. They're really cool.
Yeah.
I love that we've got...
Sorry,
I love
Steve,
that we've got some parts here that are just go way back to the beginning. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is cool, isn't it? I don't know how many colors we have these in. Probably not that many. It's hard to know. I'm sure somebody knows, but yeah. This is the kind of predominant color I remember them in, and I'm sure we have them in a flat black as well with some figure. But
we may. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't think it's used as much as some of the others.
No, it isn't. No.
They have that cool War Duke vibe to them. That's why
they do, yeah. Oh, we have them, sure, of course, with Rhaegor, isn't it? Must be, are they blue or red or blue? Yeah. Yeah, so sweet parts, and hopefully we'll get them again painted in a different color on a figure soon. That would be pretty cool.
Final on your list, John?
Keltis staff. So this staff, and it's not in the picture here, but you also get the helmet that goes on top of the staff with the horns. So you get a head that goes with this staff, which kind of blew me away when I got it.
Which has wings as well, right?
Not wings. I think it has the horns. Does it have the horns?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
To kind of represent the Skeletor Ram head kind of staff on his staff. So this is a sweet staff. Anyway, I'm sure we have it with a good few other figures, but I just love in particular with Keltis that you get it with the head. The extra head is part of the staff.
Zenithon has this staff as well now. He's the latest one, I think, maybe.
There you go, yeah, and it's more, obviously that's in the one color, and obviously those purple guys would be happy with this color, but and it is kind of a metallic, but it is definitely painted in more detail on Zenithon, for example.
And it makes sense to go Zenithon as well because of the staff of Avion that Skeletor or Stratos would have.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which he didn't come with originally in Classics. I remember.
No, they packed it in somewhere else.
Yeah, some weapons packer with some other figure. Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. So that's one from each faction, and that's my list.
That's cool.
Awesome list, John.
Funny. I never knew that staff was supposed to mimic Skeletor's by putting the other head on it. I knew the other head went on it.
Yeah.
But I didn't put 2 and 2 together that it was supposed to be the Havoc staff. That's the first.
Yeah, they're sneaky smart, cool. These horseman guys, aren't they?
Sneaky smart. So then you want to have another list?
Sure. All right, let's see. The next person we have is another one from Facebook. It's Hank Shaw, and again, in no particular order. Dwarf Shield, Large Elven Sword. That's 2 for the Large Elven Sword. Any of the new faction shields, which John had touched on in his, the large ornate ones. The Ball and Chain. So there's another one from John's list. Orc Builder Pack, he's listing, and then belts, just any belts. Everyone loves belts, definitely.
We love belts.
Yeah. There's a lot of common.
That belt pack would do well, I think, for them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you, Hank, for sharing. That was awesome.
Perfect.
Moving on to Steven.
Yeah, and I'll probably have to bail after this list. So.
Yeah. Do you want to say something before we start, or shall we just move into it?
Just move into it. Let's go. Heaven's Brand sword, man. That was my biggest regret. I didn't get the first weapons pack. I remember Travis did. I go over to his house and I see his Gideon Heaven's Brand wielding that sword, and I'm like, my Gideon's Heaven's Brand looks stupid because he doesn't have that sword. And by then, that pack that comes with the Aether Blade as well was $50 just for that pack, when I think it was originally $12. And I flipped the bills, man. I was like, all right, eBay, here you go, because I gotta have that sword. So I do have that sword.
Best decision you ever made, possibly.
It is. It's awesome. It makes the character. So I love that sword.
Yeah.
The Noble Barch Hammer.
Oh, good shout.
Was amazing. That's a big old piece of plastic, but I just think it's cool, especially using the goat ram or whatever that is. It's just awesome sculpt.
It's really cool. I love this.
You can remove the horns.
You can?
Yes, you can.
Huh? Are they glued?
Yes, but I mean, not glued very much. I mean, just you can. They're like a 2-pack like this. You can.
Huh?
They're good because they will be a unique size compared to all other stuff. Okay, it's just a side note.
That's cool. So, yep. I think even though that this is hard to keep in her hand because the weight always tips and everything, but I think this is a beautiful staff from the
Hera Serpent Spires.
Yeah. And you can stick the new magic effects around it.
Yeah. Make it even cooler.
It's an idea. Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah. I love the snake and the wings, and it's amazing. It's really cool. If you really look at it, I mean, it's easy to take for granted, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. As you say, just the fact that it's tricky to get into her hand is probably the only downside.
Yeah. For sure.
Welcome back, Len.
Thanks, Len. Thanks for joining.
Attila's 2.0 hammer.
Attila's 2.0 hammer is a beast. It's hard to pose the guy because it's so heavy, but I have him holding it on his horse, and it looks amazing. You know, the shield's down and the little slap or that little there's that little loop you can kind of slide the handle in. So the shield's hanging down there, and then he's got the shield in his hand on sitting on Balius, and it just looks brutal. Awesome. That sculpt, I mean,
Yeah, that sculpt is cool. Yeah, for sure. Is this the fake hammer or the real one?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's like a fake hammer.
To be decided.
To be decided. Yeah, all will be revealed. Yeah, Jeremy Trard is ripping his hair out.
Joe, do you like these big, bad weapons?
I think that was the first Legions part that I ever broke on accident.
Oh,
The handle broke. It's real easy for it to tip over or take a whole figure off the shelf with it, but it's really cool. But then it makes me think of the similar design on sort of Utjak, I think. His is looks like a big 747 jet engine almost version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good for some cosmic customs as a jetpack or something like a rocket.
Oh, yeah.
And what Joe's talking about is exactly why I have my Attila on a horse, so he can't fall over. So it's an expensive figure stand, a horse, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Looks
also
cool, though.
cool as a horse.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always wish that they made figure stands for the horse, something that makes the horse look like it's a mid jump,
Yeah.
or a clear, like a flight stand, basically.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Very cool.
Moving on.
Moving on.
The Elven Shield.
Always thought this shield was cool because of its double purpose of
Yeah.
its cool design, but it also looks like you could stab somebody with it. You could use it as a weapon, it looks like, too, and I don't know, just the ornateness of it I thought was super cool. Still is super cool.
Yeah, it works so well for an elf, doesn't it? Just that kind of shape and everything. It's really perfect.
Yeah. It's pretty good for the vampires too, really.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
It looks good on their backs too. When you do
Oh,
that
yeah,
trick with
yeah.
it looks really good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's like Lord Dragul, they kind of use it to mimic Hordak's cowl.
Ah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
It
Remember,
it's cool.
that was the first time I saw it on the back. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, Curtis is right. This comes with Vorthog as well, doesn't it? This shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does, but it's a very not as shiny.
Yeah.
It's like a warm.
Yeah,
Gray
it's
and
more
reds.
weathered. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay, moving on your list.
Yeah, what's next?
Oh,
I don't know. I think this thing is cool.
it really is.
If you don't use the winged bow, you ain't cool. You're like the kids that didn't pee their pants, and Adam Sandler and Billy Madison. If you don't use the winged bow,
It's weird. It's like the bow with training wheels, but it has the opposite meaning of the training wheels. It's the harder to pose, harder to use.
it is harder. It's trickier and more delicate. But if these meat hooks can do it, all right, anyone can. So
I think that's a freaking beautiful piece.
Yeah.
It looks menacing and disgusting at the same time.
Yeah, and then you also have the arrow with the bugs coming out of it, so it's just perfect.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Jin
Come
sword.
on.
I was very close to swapping this out for the genie lamp.
The crossguard has this demon thing, and his tongue is the fire. Come on.
Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah, I want a second one of these just to paint it, just for the fun of painting it a different color, not for any purpose to do with I want to put it with another figure. I just want to paint it because it's so cool.
It looks fun to paint.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, it does look like a lot of fun. Yeah, and it's perfect for the character too.
Yeah, it does. It fits him really good.
Yeah.
Mine was a bit warped. That was irritating, but
Oh.
yeah, I don't know if that's a common thing or not, but it's still
I
beautiful.
wouldn't know.
Does-
I wouldn't know.
Does the blade come out of the hilt for your guys, or is that just mine?
Like
Like it's not
mine-
glued in.
I don't.
Ooh.
It hasn't yet come apart. I haven't pulled on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you would know because it comes out really easily. Like like they didn't put glue. Maybe it's probably just mine.
Yeah.
Maybe it's supposed to
It'd
be
be cool to
Dab a glue
maybe
in there.
stuck a magic effect or that flame in the mouth without the blade. It's like a weird little flamethrower weapon.
Oh,
Sorcerer's
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You could definitely do that. It has like a it's socketed. Like it has a socket to go into the hilt, so it's two pieces. Like I said, mine wasn't glued at all. I already did something else with it.
Okay, now I want to see
Alright.
that.
Yeah.
So, I hope Joe or John or anyone in the chat or will post something with that. That would be cool to see. Of course, maybe you, Len, or maybe you, Steven, as well. I just,
I made it. I used it for Cosmic as a rifle stock.
Oh.
Well, because I
Cool.
made I switched the whole Jin over to Cosmic, so he's like a Cosmic genie.
Ah, cool.
Cosmic Genie.
Yep.
So sounds like something you'd see on the original Star Trek.
Did you add any paint to him as well, or was it
No,
all?
just pop and swaps. I swapped
Pop
them
and
all
swaps.
out with what's his name? Canis
Oh.
Conismol with all his
Yeah.
parts. So he's
Yeah.
like half robotic and he has a rifle. And the
Awesome.
Conix Vol's hose fits in the back of
Oh, yeah.
the Jin's head when you take his hair out. So that's pretty cool.
Did you already post that?
No, I don't. Joe, I don't share everything. I just I just do stuff. I'll post it later.
You go to a con where Len is at, with these setup, and then you'd be like, "What's this cool thing here?" Oh, yeah, this is one of the things I did.
Yeah. I'll post it later. I've been meaning to. I got to get a better picture of them.
Maybe you can slide into our DMs with it.
Okay.
Please. Okay,
What's next? Oh, come on.
That's a whole
So-
figure.
this is not Mythic Legions. We all know that, but we're letting it, let Steven do what he does.
Yeah, I mean, come on. The chains of Marley. I've seen people using them everywhere in different ways, and they're super cool. That whole harness thing is just got a ton of
Yeah.
uses
Mhm.
other than Marley.
Agreed.
It looks great on Marley, but I've just been seeing a lot of pictures. I haven't done anything myself with it, but I really enjoy seeing what other people have been putting out with it. So
Yeah,
a great accessory.
I have that harness on a figure on my desk, but that's far from finished. But it's a cool piece to work with.
It is, yeah. Yeah, and not straightforward at all to make.
No.
Okay,
Valak's
Valak's
bird. I think having pets in Mythic Legions is really fun, and he was the first pet. I think it's the first bird, and so I included Valak's bird because it's very GI Joe to me, and I love GI Joe.
Yeah. Good shout. Yeah.
And I got one more left, right?
One more.
Yeah.
it's not mythic, but it's pretty badass.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, that's one of my favorite cosmic pieces.
So I didn't really realize. I didn't know we were staying in the mythic category, or some of us were. I don't know if that we should have been more. If you guys just didn't choose it, I just maybe should have been more clear. But
Okay,
Like you
for
said.
people who don't know, me, Len, and Steven actually have a little chat group, like many of us do. We have small chat groups, and we have one for this show. And we share the thumbnail for the show there as well before it all starts. And it just so happened to say we talk Mythic Legions accessories. That could have been a hint.
yeah,
Now
You know, it should have been maybe, but
But
here we are.
Vorga's chain gun is one of the most epic pieces so far in the Cosmic line.
Yeah, agreed.
I love it, Steven.
I love it too. I think it's a great piece. It's the coolest as far as weapons that I can think of in the Cosmic line. So there it is. That's my list. And I hate to be rude to my guests, but I have to go watch my daughter in that play. So you guys are gonna have to finish this show without me, which
You had fun at that play.
easy.
Yeah, you have fun. Yeah,
Yeah, enjoy it, Steve.
enjoy.
And, then I'm off to MesquiCon. Curtis is coming in tonight, so I will see you guys later.
Is
Thanks.
Curtis staying with you? Is he or is he?
Curtis is staying with me tonight, and then he's staying in the
Okay.
hotel the rest of the weekend.
Oh, cool. Very good. We'll give him a hug from us.
Yeah, we'll do. And bye, guys. Thanks again.
Bye,
Cheers.
Steve. Thank
See you
you.
later.
Good luck.
Bye. So, Len,
Yes.
we have some more. We have one more.
Sure do. Let's see. We have from Facebook, MOC Turtle. He likes Samir's cloak. Thinks the wiring is great. He likes Zenday's staff. The potion bottles for the belts are fun. And I didn't click on see more. Well, I know MOC Turtle, if that is his real name, is a newer member. Super excited about Poxis because that seems to be what he posts the most about, which is awesome. And he does raise some good points with that. Like, the potion bottle accessories are really cool.
Yeah. Agree.
All right.
They are, yeah.
So, Joe, now it is you who will take the reins, and you will be the talkative guy now.
We'll see.
It's all yours. Your first one on the list.
Yeah, I picked this as well. I mean,
There we go.
I still haven't found anything that it doesn't go with. I think it's because it's a neutral gray, but anything you put it on, it just looks good.
Yep.
Cosmic and mythic.
Yeah, it's a incredible piece. Yeah.
I do hope that they move into only doing soft goods hoods, though.
Oh yeah, Joe, you do
was
like
another
that.
thing
See,
on my list.
I'm like mixed on that.
Mhm.
I would like to see them as 2-piece soft good hoods. Because I think in some instances I don't like that the hood's attached to the cape. If it's like a figure that you don't want a hood on. Or if it's a figure that has or if it's a part that might have falling hair that you can't like smash the hood that's attached under it. I know with Zenday, I'm having that issue with some of the heads that I want to try to put on it. So I liked how they did Skullman with the separate soft good hood.
Yeah. But it's a bit like the belt piece, or not the belt piece, the front of the skirt piece that sometimes they do now with just the cloth goods and not the plastic. The tabard, is it, or something?
Yeah, the tabard.
Yeah. Yeah. I always like the option of the plastic there as well. I like the soft good ones, but figures that come without a plastic one, if you don't like the soft goods, you're kind of stuck. Unless you have a spare one. Yeah.
Yeah. And then so with that chest strap and the ability, I mean, it's the same thing as the old little leather-looking ones. I actually sold all of those to one guy on eBay. He was looking for some, and I showed him my plastic bag full of the old straps, and he's like, "That's exactly how many I want." It's like a huge bundle of them, so I got rid of all those. But I think like with that and the things like wanting the soft goods with the cloak with a hood is like when you were a kid, those are the two things you could do to be like a ninja: is have something with a hood, like a hooded sweatshirt, or stick a plastic sword like down the back of your shirt. It just reminds me of that. Like,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it's only so far. It's only a Verona who has that strap, right?
I think so, yeah.
It's a beautiful
Yep.
awesome strap.
It's in the belt pack that's coming.
Oh yeah,
Brown and black. Yeah.
Looking forward to that belt pack. So
And then,
Baron Volgar's 2's fur piece.
Yeah, because we only got brown, maybe some black fur on an ogre loin, I think, but before that it was only brown.
Yeah.
And then this was the first one that felt more like a wolf pelt or something that could go with like Arctic kind of northern characters. And it's a little bulky, but it looks really good on Archimedes. I did a swap with that a while back. But
That's cool.
Volgar always reminds me of, it sounds silly, but I think Coco Chanel said, before you leave the house, take one accessory off. When I got him, I was like, he doesn't need to, this is like what he wears when he gets his portrait painted, but he doesn't need to wear all of this all the time. And I took the pauldrons off and felt like he looked a little more battle ready, a little more streamlined without some of that stuff.
Yeah, it's really nice. It also kind of added to the mystery of this figure, because we didn't know for a long time what was exactly underneath it, or remember when he was solicited. So that was an interesting one as well.
Exactly, and this is I mean, that you had in Archimedes, that was a cool idea, because it's like it's a big piece. I wonder how it, at other 1.0 figures as well. Does it still feel a little too bulky, or?
Well, I mean, it also, because it's gray in the neutral tone, it goes with almost anything you put it on.
Have to play with that more. So, moving on to Krotos' bag.
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping someone would pick this one. It's great.
And you could, I mean, technically, you could use it. You could hide the bag in a cloak or a cape or fur behind them, and it's just another kind of chest strap, like the Averona one, just to have multiple straps of different, like, variety. But it's just a cool little thing that I gave it to, like a sort of slopped woodland witch or something. And yeah, it was a fun thing. I realized I don't think I have any weapons on my list. It's all like fashion accessories.
But kind of speaks to what you do, as well. These kind of pieces are important to when you're kind of mashing up the figures to really make them stand out a bit, Yeah,
I did used to work for a men's clothing line, and
there you go.
I was surprised. Some of the stuff that you see in Zoolander actually happens in real life, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, these people really exist and act like this? That's another podcast.
Well, yeah, I'll be listening to that if you ever get to do that one.
Me too. The bag is really a piece. We actually talked about this the other day, me and Joe, when it's like, this is one of the pieces that you wouldn't mind having a couple of extra laying around. Just it feels like you can just strap it, put it on a lot of different figures, and it would just enhance the look of the figure.
Definitely.
Yeah, not to get too involved, but like from a design standpoint, just having that diagonal line of the strap cutting across most of the figure, like you can kind of affect how people read when they look at the silhouette of the figure, because it leads your eye from one corner down and then you can go back up. So if you use it across the right, like how they did it here, like that's a busy chest plate, but then the strap leads your eye right out of it and down into the rest of the figure.
So now, if you don't mind, Joe, I would like to just, because when people hear you talk about the design views, how you talk about the diagonal straps and how it breaks up styles, is it okay if I tell people what you work with?
Yeah.
I mean, you're what a lot of people dream of in this art community, that you're a comic book artist. So
I did. I mean,
please.
I did some stuff for Marvel and DC and a couple other companies maybe like 10, 15 years ago, but most of the stuff I've done recently is like for film, like pre-production development stuff. So there's always NDAs and I can't post any of it. So I've got so much stuff that I can't show. That's just
Oh my god!
yeah.
And there's so
And
many
did the
of us-
NDAs ever run out, or sorry, Emma?
Well,
That's-
I mean, if they do, then it's been so long that I think like that is terrible old dated work that I don't want people to see anyway. So it doesn't matter.
Wow, that's amazing.
What a tricky situation. You know, you get to do the jobs that are great to get to do, but not be able to show them is, you know, it's like that. Oh, this actually answers David Williams when he's talking to you about, you know, you don't have to post everything at
I
the
was
same
about
time.
to say that. Yeah.
Of course you need, because you're building this up that you can't show any art. Everyone's like, oh, you're doing art. Yeah, but I can't show. So the pop and swaps are just pouring out. It all makes sense.
Yeah.
Overcompensating.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's tough.
Over swappensating? No.
Oh, yeah. Let's
we
move
can-
on to this.
We can cut that out in the edit, right?
It's not possible because, you know, we're an uncut. The winged serpent staff.
Yeah, like this. Like I was looking at Hera Serpent Spire's staff, and like the fact that it gets so wide in diameter that her hands get stretched out and can't really hold it. Like I feel like this is the evolution of that, and like exactly what I wanted when I looked at hers when it came out years ago. Like they're just, I can't picture improving this. Like it's thin where it needs to be. It's just enough detail. And when you use the lightning from the magic effects, you realize that it's like designed like so some of the forks of lightning actually just line up with the ring at the top and touch it. It's just one of those nice little things that you don't realize they planned and they don't call out, but you just find out on your own.
So the little details that Eric Treadaway sculpted into these that you kind of like, he lets us discover. I mean, if you don't care, then you don't care. But if you find them and you care, it's like you're on a treasure hunt finding these design details.
I like the accessory pack version of this one too. I think that's what I'm thinking of. It has
because I think Samir's is more a goldish color.
Yeah.
I think this is the accessory pack one.
Yeah, I actually like the accessory pack one more, I think. And I like the the staff itself is really nice. It's well done.
Yep.
You got to get two because then the Zende's staff topper looks good on this staff body too.
That's exactly
and it makes it long enough. Because
Zende's is short, so I swapped it for this one.
And then you get a free little mace.
Yep.
Out of the leftover Zende handle.
Exactly.
You know, after this show, I need to go to bed, but I want to go and pop and swaps, and you're not giving all these things. But I guess that's part of it. You know what we're doing here.
Yeah,
getting
exactly. Yeah. Hopefully, the people in the chat. That's why the chat is quiet now, because people are just running off to find some accessories to. Yeah.
Everyone's
okay.
Let's.
Can we move on? Len, did you want to say something?
Nope.
Oh. The blue lightning effects.
Like I tried a few things. Like you can actually kind of bend it, and make like an arc, even though maybe lightning wouldn't behave like that. But to have it like stretched between weapons or two hands. But there's just so much you can do. I haven't even messed with Cosmic really with these, but it adds so much, especially if you're taking pictures, just to give motion and like more drama, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
I
really like these.
Yeah, I like the choice of plastics they used, because they do have that nice flex to them still, and it's fun because they're not going to break. They have give, like Joe said. You can bend them. You can do different things with them. I never tried to heat them up, but I bet you if you heated them, you could probably get even more movement on them.
Yeah, I gave mine to my kids to play with, or they took them, and I had no fear of breakage. You know, whereas some things I'd be like, no, you leave that one there now, and.
The Poxus accessories, I mean, I don't think we have to really say it. They're just amazing. I love the
accessory
packs
that
came with them, all of them. They're
Yeah.
probably the best accessory packs that came in a wave.
It's
Yep.
like stuff you couldn't have expected to have anything on an action figure this thin and delicate. Like, I think even like 5 years ago. Like, this shows how much they progress over time. Like,
Yeah.
feels like a real advance.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, just looking at those thin lightning, without even a figure around, it looks good.
Yeah. I also like how well these lightning effects work on Arazak. He has the red ones. You put them on his hand or, on his arm.
Yep.
And it really holds there in place and it works well and it looks cool and it kind of instantly makes you want to take a photo of the figure.
Yeah, they take UV light really well too. If you try to put them under black light. At ZoloCon, I had this Apoxis wave, the entire wave set up in one of the sections, and I had a 25 watt UV LED above it, and
Cool.
the effects really lit up with them. We weren't expecting that until we did it, and I was like, "Whoa, that's pretty cool."
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
So, moving on to Syrian's poncho. And here we have a cosmic one, but it's a beautiful one.
Well, if you turn it around and don't look at the back, you don't have to wonder how there's a screen printer in Mythos that has like high gloss ink. But from the front, it can be.
Sorry for taking the back view. I was just trying to show as much possible.
Yeah, but it's like you can make other people that are in the same sort of group as Dubon because of the similar color, but it gives a different silhouette and just some variety to the whole group.
Yeah, I think
is that the first hood we got in the line that actually you can have it up or down?
Yeah,
so.
I think so.
And with this figure, the hood actually works really, really great. I think it works a lot better on this one than at the Wizards that we got. I think this is the perfect. If there is a hood, it's gonna need to be fit like this.
I think it's the material, because when the material's got a little bit of that shimmer to it, then it naturally doesn't sit down with weight. It kind of wants to pop up and it wants to pop out. But this being like a dull kind of fabric, it's almost like it somehow molds easier, or something about the actual material, or maybe that it's got the two layers, like the double-sided nature of it.
Yeah.
Well, one of my favorite pieces as well, and one of my absolute favorite characters.
Yeah, I heard so many people in the run up to Cosmic talking about this figure, and especially this accessory, this cloak. Yeah, it was really, really anticipated, and we weren't let down as usual. So that was cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. When I the life size Zende, that statue that they made, the cloak is real. Like it's like someone could wear it. Like it's not like for looks.
Is it wired?
How, Joe, I don't know. That's a good question. I could find out. But I was like, I happened to be in the studio when they were like, when it wasn't on it, and they had it like all the clothing for Zende like there, and it was real. It was made by like associates they had that do like stage costuming and custom costuming for different productions.
Yeah,
and that's like who made it. They scaled up everything, and it was really cool to see.
Just imagine if they sold life-size ones that were wired.
That's what I tried to tell them.
If you pulled up on a motorcycle and it looked like it was billowing behind you, and if you stop, it's still sticking straight out.
I still think I would buy one.
Definitely.
A shout out to C. Jessim for making all the soft goods. The design for all the soft goods. He's there. You can't say enough good things about him and his work with his team. Beautiful. Very, very humble guy. He's almost as good as you, Joe, as dodging compliments. But he's a master at his craft. And while we're at it, Trevor Williams for taking absolutely most of all of these photos that we keep using in this podcast, or YouTube channel, and everywhere else. So it's shout outs to some great people. Are we ready to move on?
Yep.
Novian's rifle.
I think this was the first one that, like, I think most of the ones that came before this in the first wave weren't really painted or didn't have a lot of the little accents, but this one actually looks real, looks realistic. That's why I put it in there.
Yeah, it's a really nice design, this gun in itself. And I like that it's a bit smaller than the longer one.
I like to think that when you look at this or Vorga's railgun, you get a kind of idea of what ships or like a hover bike might look like that Eric would do. Like, because I feel like a lot of sci-fi design, like the ships are kind of just like big swords or guns, just scaled up anyway lately.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. I don't want vehicles or anything until now. When you said something like a hover bike with Eric's design, okay, thanks, Joe. For
just look at the back. Look at Vorga's railgun and picture that as the back end, like the exhaust of like a speeder bike or something.
Yep, I'm easily with you. Talon's bow.
I don't know. I think this was the first one I got that because it was a big deal that it had that piece of elastic where you could actually pose with the string drawn. Like before that, any action figure bow had a huge like string that was plastic that was thick enough not to break for, quality assurance. And I just like the design of that, the sculpt of this bow.
So, is this the first bow that they made with the string?
No, I think it's the first one I got in my collecting. Because I think, was it maybe Elf Ranger? Might have been the first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was basically a lot of the elves with the advent of Decay Wave, basically. Yeah, they were there. What do you think about that we get some bows these days without arrows in the pack with the figure?
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. Like, I would rather it always came. It'd be nice if they came with a couple. I mean, doesn't is it Nieve that has like the broken ones that insert into the shield?
That go into the shield. Yeah.
See, I've already got a swap idea for those broken arrows, and I just got to wait until mid 2025 to try it out.
Yeah, if we're lucky. Yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
So, about this, we got a question from a Facebook user. Are these your favorite accessories? Would you say that these are your favorites, or are they some great ones?
They are up until right now a mixture of what was in front of me on the desk when you asked me to make a list, and like not being able to pick stuff that hasn't come out yet, because then a bunch of these will get replaced immediately.
Got it.
Close enough.
It is a living document, isn't it? This list, I think.
A list that could actually be something else tomorrow, but depending on your mood, I guess.
As well, yeah.
Whenever you see just generic Facebook user, do you ever think it's like maybe Eric, like undercover, just like, is that really all?
All of them is Eric.
He starts a new one every podcast just to cover his tracks.
Len, anything before we move on?
No.
Okay, let's go with the headless
They made
horseman.
the quiver have a hole in it, so you could put that spare arrow in the quiver. That's what I have.
That would be good. Why not just let us take all the arrows out? Just like bundle them together with one of those little tiny, like braces, rubber bands.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I mean, it'd be fun to be able to pose the quiver and have them all sticking out askew if it was a goblin, or like tightly packed in if it was an elf. Kind of show their personality.
Yeah,
that would be sweet. Yeah.
This cape, like as soon as I got this, I took. This might anger a certain part of the community. I took all the purple away from the vampires and made them all red, like with the Bashadi, that armor and this cape,
Mm-hmm.
and then the vampire head just matches it like by default.
Gotcha.
And I left purple behind almost exclusively.
You used it for other figures, didn't you?
I mean, there's been a lot of purple in Oxus, and like Race's cloak, like is another
That's right.
one that looks. I think is that my next pick, Emil? Race's cloak.
Pick is Race's cloak.
Like I would love to have that in black, like the one that comes with not Ias, but the new Greyborn that's in Atlas Axios. That kind of looks like a monk or like some kind of wanderer's cloak that's really rough, but I think that's gonna be applied a lot of places just because it's a blackish cloak.
But do you want it in this shiny material, or do you want it in more like the Dubans style?
I mean, I would always pick matte and dull.
Yeah.
Like that. I turned in a comic book art piece once, and I had made it so desaturated that they said, "Are you going to color it?" And I was like, "Yeah, if you squint your eyes, it is."
Squint your eyes.
Yeah, but I lean towards more desaturated. Like this feels like something for the Met Gala of the Mythos world, as opposed to like practical wilderness application.
That's true. Yeah,
But
this is her
maybe.
kind of.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing. I guess she's not worried.
This is her important cloak. She probably has a more dull one for her everyday training or whatever. Yeah,
she is one of the best.
But also that one because of the hood as well. Because I think that's the first one that has. Well, I mean, with Samir and Zende, the first cloaks that have a hood that's soft goods that also is attached, that doesn't have a fastener, and it just makes it easier. Like, you know where it's going to go. You don't have to mess with it too much.
yeah.
It's easier to pose.
You're not worried about the fastener breaking or anything, really. Yeah.
No.
You can get a lot of different looks out of that. Like if it's a 2.0 and the head is small, you can have the hood pulled down so you can't see their eyes. You can have it in like multiple looks.
Yeah, I'm using this cape for my Shredder tribute.
Oh, nice.
And it's finished. I'm just gonna take some photos.
See, he just looked at it. It's like literally 3 feet off camera, but we can't see it.
We need the glamour shots, you know.
They're coming. Okay, Len, do you have? Thanks, Joe, for this list first. Thanks.
Sure.
Yeah, awesome list.
Yeah, that was a great list, Joe. Love it. I'm gonna rifle through a few of these because we have a few more, but again, different people in the community, and this is Jesse Arnold. He contributed his list, and what does he have to say? The bearded axe, Calazar's sword, which we've seen, VV2 spear. Who's VV2?
Vargas Ramilius. Yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Silver cord bow, which good choice. Basic one-hand sword. So those are all fun choices.
And he said in the chat earlier as well, his number 6 would have been the Krotos bag. So
yeah, I forgot the Krotos bag too.
Yeah,
Honestly,
he said he forgot it as well. Yeah,
I think I would have brought it onto my list. Nate Armstrong contributed. He likes the small sheath daggers, black wings, skeleton wings, the Red Death clock, and wizard books.
Yeah, they're all good shouts as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice with the wizard books, if you take the chain and its connector off, the hole that the connector went in pretty much as a thumb hole, so you can have this gripping hand hold the book up. So it actually stays in there pretty secure too.
Oh, sweet.
I didn't realize
I'm gonna
that.
try
The
that.
chain came off, but I didn't realize that. I'm going to do
Sweet.
another one. So Anthony Hasil contributed. Who's at his
Dwarf axe,
right
dwarf shield. Dwarf.
Let's see.
OG belt loops.
Only one.
The wooden handle axe. That's actually a good one too. I
That's
like
a
that
good
wooden
one.
handle
Yeah,
axe.
yeah, yeah. That would
The
have been.
dwarf ornate shield. The Sir Gerard sword.
Oh yeah.
Krotos belt.
Okay.
So all
Good
solid
list.
choices and nice spread all
Solid,
the way
yeah.
down. Let me do one more, Emil, all right? You okay if I do one
Yeah,
more?
sure. Go ahead.
Patrick Boyle, our friend Patrick. Patrick says the trident, the hammer, wooden shield,
Nice.
sword with sheath. I like the sword with sheath too. That's a good choice. It's a little small,
yeah.
but it's still nice. It's a good choice. The spell books, and Patrick went extra, and he sent in a picture of all his
Wow.
favorites, so we could see.
Wow.
There we go.
So those are all solid choices.
They are indeed.
I do have a few more, but I will save them.
Okay, then we just, so we don't miss them, we have two people writing here in the chat. We have David Williams. Sir Gerard's sword and scimitar, one of the favorites.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Yep. Okay, let's go here with Kirby Smith as well before I start my list. I didn't get to submit my choice. I didn't get to. You are most welcome. No one was forbidden, my friend. But I just like to mention Snag's accessories, like the horns, are cool because he stole them. Aya's necklace with the cosmic key and the Cronin artifacts rule. Thanks for the submission.
Yeah.
Most welcome to.
The IS necklace is so unruly. Like I woke up the other morning and just saw one in the middle of the floor, and I have no idea how or when it got there. It's just like picked something up and it got flung, but it's easy to lose those.
Yeah, I was moving this desk that I have my laptop on and stuff for the podcast, and I was moving it and tidying it the other day, and I actually nearly threw that in the bin because I just thought it was a little bit of scrap. That was at the end of the desk, and then I was like, this is here from when I was messing with the figure when we were talking about him a couple of months ago. So it's like, oh, whoops.
Yeah, there are oops parts on the desk, that you can just make sure. You should actually have some kind of border next to the, so.
Okay. A little gutter that comes out at the side of the desk. That'd be perfect.
So these are my 10 picks. Dubon's cape.
Ooh, jackpot.
Nice.
Is that everybody? Or
it is, I guess, 3 or 4 of us picked the cape.
I think all of us did. So
it's an amazing piece. I actually I repainted this whole cloak with Citadel paints for my Gimli tribute. That's not how you're supposed to repaint a cape, but I don't know that. I love this cape. I'm just moving on because we all love this cape. Brother Mandibulus soft goods.
That's a good one, yeah.
So he has a black skirt piece and a red skirt piece, and I wouldn't mind having a lot more of these. I think this is still he's probably my favorite Mythic figure. I can't just stop saying that because there's something magical about him, but the soft goods, I want more soft goods like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I actually realized I have it on another custom. I need to destroy that custom because I need these. So, okay, Pox's soft goods. I allow myself to, both the collar piece and the skirt pieces, I guess. These, I think, are more favorites than Mandibulus pieces because these are just, and Joe, you have used these on so many figures. You're able to create some cool stuff with these.
Well, at some point I was just putting the different heads on the same body and not really being that creative, just saying, oh, look, it looks good with this head too. But it does, yeah, it makes anything kind of into like a wasteland or desert kind of feel.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And Poxus is my most pre-ordered figure ever, I think.
Oh wow.
When I saw it, it's like that. Yeah, but I mean, I haven't pre-ordered thousands, but still, the ogre scale pauldrons. So these designed by Nate Barch. Oh man, they are badass.
Yeah.
I'm happy that we get more of them with the barbarian wave. I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are sweet. Yeah, and I love that the belt piece comes off them to match, and you can match it up with the belt piece of the harness, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I think, but this belt piece by itself is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. But you can also then kind of put it on the figure to match it with the belt if you wanted to.
Yeah, they almost made my list. They were pretty close.
Close, yeah. Heaven's Brand made my list as well.
Yeah,
I like it.
Awesome sword.
Yeah.
Do you have one? Yeah.
When I started collecting Legions, I bought some collections, and in one of those I had the 2-pack, so I still have them.
Nice.
And Valak's belt. This is still, but the same like with you, the rest of you. Any figure has this belt, but this is where I saw it first.
Perfect.
And this was one thing: the longsword, the classic longsword. It has been around since the beginning, and I keep looking at it, and I still love it. I love how it looks with any figure that I put a longsword in his or her hand. I think it's a wonderful design.
Yeah.
I wanted it to bring that masterpiece up here.
It makes me think about Valiant Knight now that you can do two-handed on a 1.0. Like, I didn't think about all these older swords that are technically like two-handed that you could bring into that.
Yeah, that's what I did when I first got Valiant. I went to my parts bin and found all those two-handed swords to give them new life again. Yeah.
And then we have Race's staff. And okay, I was looking at the different with Indy's stuff and others, and I keep coming back to Thrace and her overall design, the cloak, the rest of the soft pieces, the head sculpt, and the staff. When I'm posing her, I love the design of the staff. It's super simple. It's super simple compared to so much else, and I think it's perfect for her. If she would have a lot of ornate stuff, it wouldn't be her character at all.
No. Yeah.
It's such a nice piece, the little sphere at the top, how it's...
Yeah.
Like that feels
It's
like
really
a
nice.
step up. I've never seen anything that nice in action figure production.
It is a very, very nice piece, that top. Just two more. And we have Aberona's belt, just like you, Joe. We talked about it the other night. And it's like, this is the piece that I opened up an Aberona just to rob her of this belt. And now she's next to me here without that belt. And I feel horrible for leaving her there. But more are coming. And final piece is Calisir's necklace. This is wonderful, and it's going to be cool to put this on a lot of more figures. Not just
you used
the
it on the custom. Didn't you post that custom with him?
Yeah, I used it for Salazar Slytherin. So he's wearing that piece. Yeah, we painted it.
Yeah, that really caught my attention when you used it for him. It's really good.
And that's it.
Solid choices.
That's our
There you
list.
go. That's our list. So
But then there were some more submissions, right?
Of course.
Of course. Let's do them.
We have this gentleman. who we all
Fine
know,
fellow.
Curtis. And his choices are Varg wrist wraps, the Noble Barch pauldrons, Melfar's wings, Sir Elijah's shield. I didn't, when I reached out to some people, I did not limit to things, that aren't out yet, because I wasn't sure if we ruled on that yet. Asparagus' pauldrons. and he had to pick more. He had to go with Varg shackles, which I love those too. And his second honorable mention is the upcoming belts pack.
Yes, the belt packs would of course be on top of all of this. I want a lot of belt packs. And Joe mentioned the hands packs.
Yeah, I didn't know if that counted because I like body parts didn't seem like an accessory, but that vertical hinge on the hands, so you could have people pointing swords or lifting swords, like that made a big difference when those came out.
Yeah, huge difference. That was the type of thing when I heard about it, I didn't think, I was like, I didn't think it was going to be a huge difference. But then when you get them, you're like, wow, that's really cool. All right. Kevin Boots, who I think is still here with us. Kevin.
Let's see, Kevin. Let's see.
The dwarf short sword, elf short
Yeah.
sword, the scimitar, orc axe, elf shield. So he has a bunch that we all picked too.
Yeah.
That we like.
Yep.
Yeah, there he
that
is.
scimitar is popular, isn't it?
Hello there, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin.
Eugene.
Eugene.
I thought it'd be Eugene came in with the magic effects,
Ooh.
the wooden goblin orc hand axes.
They're sweet.
They're cool.
The birds, any of the wings, and the sheathed daggers. Sheathed daggers is fun. Those are nice because now there's so many bells to clip them on. Like I think that's really cool.
Makes a difference.
This is G, and G came up with the wooden shield, the dwarf shield, the steel axe that came with the dwarf weapons pack, short sword, and the sheathed sword. So there's another vote for the sheathed sword. Oh, and here we have my final one.
Mr.
Man
Gerard
himself, Mr. Gerard. He was very quick to answer this. It was great. Everyone was quick. It was really neat. I thought like if I reached out to people and asked different things, some people might take a while, but everyone seemed to already have in their heads what they liked.
Wow.
And Jeremy likes the scimitar sword, Calzir lamp, the warhammer from Wave 1, Thrace's staff. Oh, there it is, a Kronos bag. And for new pieces, the scapular blowgun.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a cool one.
Yeah.
So
really
that's super
sweet.
interesting to see how many of us really did all pick a lot of the same things.
It says a lot about how many parts there are.
Now picture I get messages in my eBay store that are like these lists, and they're like, I want the long sword, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to be a little more specific. I don't know which one it is.
Although a lot of those names I think people get from that armory section on the website.
Yeah. Or if you go to the figure, the actual figure description on the website, in the one side when it says what they come with, they all have names too. Not all of them though. I noticed some of the older ones, they don't match up with the newer.
True. Yeah.
But I think moving forward from a certain point, they all do kind of match up and have a specific name to them.
Yeah. Although selling on eBay, I would definitely still double check.
Yeah, Joe, you want to promote that if people are looking for specific parts.
Yeah, I like I said, like I'll buy like 5 Lady Averonas so I can have 5 of those straps to use, and then I sell the extra parts on eBay. It's Skullbook 4 is the name of the store, or the page or whatever. So, but I always give better deals in the Cabal. There's no tax, no shipping. So you just hit me up in there.
Awesome.
There you go.
So this was very interesting, and I really enjoyed hearing all you guys talk about the list and see that the people who submitted stuff were so many different parts. Len, do you want to take on Steve's role and wrap the show up?
I don't think I could fill those shoes.
Well, you can just let me give you some music. Okay, because that's something that I tend to miss. Okay, let's go.
All right, everybody, wrapping up episode number 58 of LegionsCast. Thank you to our guests, Joe and John. Make sure to check them out where you can, and we'll see you next time. The same Legions time, same Legions place.